Hey everybody, Bentley here. In this video, I want to go over World Tier 1 versus World Tier 2 and my thoughts on kind of group play when it comes to this and what you should pick depending on what you want. If you want to be faster, if you're playing with a group, if you're playing on hardcore, softcore, all those kind of things. And I got some really interesting information here that could actually speed up your leveling by 4x. So let's get straight into it, shall we? The number one thing that I want to say is you should play what's fun for you. This is going to be like your first playthrough of Diablo 4, and if you want to speedrun it and try and hit level 100 as quickly as possible, then I feel like you should go World Tier 1, and I'll explain a bit more about this in a moment. However, if you want a bit more of a challenge, you're going to take your time, then World Tier 2 might be the way forwards. If we come into here, you can see that on World Tier 2, monsters give 20% increased experience and you get 15% more gold. And also enemies are more challenging. So with them more challenging, enemies will attack you faster. Ranged enemies will be throwing more stuff at you, things like that. So you'll be taking a bit more damage. Now, monsters give 20% increased experience. One thing that's really important here is that this is from monsters and not from quests. So you don't actually level 20% faster. And the other thing is, monsters are significantly harder to kill in World Tier 2. You take, like, the Butcher and a Shava, for example. It's kind of speculated that they had nearly double the health in World Tier 2. So that's going to take you twice as long to kill them. Whereas in World Tier 1, you can just kind of breeze through. So if you can clear content 21% or more faster than in World Tier 2, you're going to be gaining more experience in World Tier 1. I also feel that if you're playing hardcore, then you might want to consider going through on World Tier 1. You don't really get any more drops from World Tier 2. There isn't anything that suggests that you're going to be getting more gear. Drops from a Shava and the Butcher and things all seem the same in World Tier 1. So there is big value in playing World Tier 1. Now, if you're in a group though, group experience is actually insane. Now, if we come over to here, so parties have a significant advantage to level up quickly, right? Base experience gained from monster kills is gained by every party member individually at full value, regardless of contribution. Again, it's not scaled down, so this is a really significant point. Now here, this is where things get really interesting. All experience is shared zone-wide, and I've actually got a clip that I'm going to play for you now. You'll see that in this, I actually start to gain experience while I'm in town. One of my teammates, and this is taken from the server slam, has gone out of town and is actually killing some of the monsters, and you'll see my experience bar go up. Now, coming back to the point over here, all XP is shared zone-wide, and given how massive zones are, you can actually split farm in completely different areas and get full experience from anyone else's kills in your party, potentially accelerating your leveling speed by up to 4 times. I haven't seen anybody else really talk about this, and this is a really interesting point. I haven't fully tested this, but as you saw from the clip, like, it does happen because this person is screens away from me outside killing monsters, and I'm getting experience from it in town. So here, like, you can fully idle in town and just leech experience. So if you're going to go AFK, or you actually organize it and you split off if you're in a group of 4 and everyone's farming different things just outside in the world, you're going to be gaining a lot of experience very quickly. So this could be a really interesting way to level as a group. But also here, when you are close together, within 3 screens radius, you get the party buff bonus, increasing experience gains by 5, 8, and 11%, depending on the number of nearby party members. Again, this is absolutely massive. So in the last server slam, I actually played hardcore on World Tier 2 in a group of 4, and I was leveling so fast it was silly. But we didn't try any of this, not on purpose anyway, and then I was leveling so fast it was crazy. So for me, I am going to be leveling in softcore, and I'm going to be leveling in a group of 4. So I've already got this kind of organized, at least for the first couple of days of launch, and then we'll see what happens. But if you're leveling solo and you want to go first, I recommend World Tier 1. If you want more of a challenge and you don't care about the speed, then World Tier 2. If you're on hardcore, then I definitely recommend World Tier 1. Again, though, if you really want that initial challenge, World Tier 2, but be careful because at this point you don't know the game, you don't know what random enemies there might be in like campaign dungeons that are just like quite difficult, have one-shot mechanics, all this kind of stuff. So that's there. However, one really interesting point is when you get to about level 50 and you're going to be looking at doing the Capstone dungeon, this is a set difficulty, and if you've been playing the whole game on World Tier 1, this could be a very big jump in difficulty going into that. So I just want you guys to be aware, if you get used to World Tier 1, go into the Capstone dungeon, jump into the middle of a load of mobs like you might be used to, and then instantly die, just be aware that you want to take your time at the start of that dungeon to gauge how powerful you are versus the enemies. However, you can overlevel it. As I said, it's a set difficulty, so you can overlevel it. Another thing to consider with World Tier 2 before I get into my plans is if you're farming dungeons. Now, if you're just going into a dungeon, farm up the start of it, something like Dead Man's Cove that we did a lot of in like a lot of the betas, then this is a really good dungeon for just going in, killing a whole bunch of elites, coming out and just resetting the dungeon, not even killing the bosses. So if you want to do something like that, World Tier 2 giving you that 20% extra experience, this might be the way to do that, to be able to do it faster. Just something worth considering. Now, for my plans going into it, as I said, I'm going to be playing in a group, and we have actually decided that we're going to go in on World Tier 2. Playing in a group just makes the game easier anyway. Going in World Tier 2, getting some more experience is going to be good, but we've decided that we want to play on World Tier 2. I'm not specifically racing for a world first or anything like that. I'm not doing it on hardcore, so I'm also not going into the, you know, the big hardcore race that all the devs have announced, so I'm not worried about that either. However, we are going to be going at a fairly rapid pace. We have all agreed that we want to skip dialogue, but we're not going to be skipping cutscenes as we're going to be blasting through. So again, if you want to check any of that out, you can always check me out live on Twitch, so links down below. Feel like we're going to be leveling very, very fast. We have myself on Sorceress, we've got a rogue, we've got a support barbarian, so a Z-barb, and we've also got a necromancer. So this is going to be our leveling group going forwards. And yeah, if you want to check out any of this, links down below for the Twitch. But yeah, that's kind of my 2 cents on it, to kind of TLDR, like, play what's fun for you. World Tier 1 should be faster for most people. On hardcore, especially at your first playthrough, is probably going to be sensible. You don't really get much more drops or anything. World Tier 2, if you want to do it, or if you're in a group and you think, you know, you're good gamers and you're just trying to rush and stuff anyway, then that might be faster than World Tier 1. So yeah, that's my kind of 2 cents on it, guys. Remember to like and sub for more D4 content, and until the next one, guys, I'll see you very soon. Peace out.